In the end, Andor wasn't the best Disney Star Wars production. Episode 12 could have clinched an all-time top 10 rank for the series. From the start, it had many advantages. A good premise, a practical set, an excellent cast, a group of well-developed characters, and a writing team that displayed patience and respected viewers. Unfortunately, the finale didn't fulfill its potential. It didn't deliver a culmination worthy of the rising action in the 11 preceding episodes. Action meaning narrative conflicts, plot progression, not physical conflicts, which the show sorely missed. If you relished the conclusion Andor series, forgive my play on words, I'm happy for you. My review won't diminish your satisfaction unless you crave an unhealthy level of validation from me. I wished for an epic climax, and I enjoyed Andor until its close. During my review of Episode 8, I said, quote, "To Mando Season 2, Andor is superior. Does it outdo Mando Season 1? Yes, I think so." Unquote. Of course, I qualified my praise with a reminder. Andor is far from over. Disney, you've hurt me in the past. Well, like an abusive partner, Disney, you've hurt me again. However, the shame is mine. Fool me twice, as the saying goes. I don't feel the anger with incompetence or regret for wasted time that followed the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, today I'm experiencing disappointment caused by a bad ending to a good season. Welcome to Galactic Initiative. I'm your host, Jeff. Warning, spoilers ahead. What went wrong with Andor's finish? 1. The dramatic tension faded because the writers maintained all their primary characters. To date, every top 10 Star Wars production has, suspended at least one significant role with narrative purpose in its third act. Qui-Gon, Padme, Obi-Wan, Han Solo, Darth Vader, Queel, IG-11. The list goes on. Danger and loss are requisites for an IP with wars in its name. The writers increased opposition stakes and urgency in prior episodes, but dampened these ingredients when they were needed most. 2. Though they survived, the primary characters lacked meaningful parts. If you removed them from the episode, very little or nothing about the story would change. Cassian snuck around town and freed Bix. Bix accomplished nothing. She was saved. Luthen drove his speeder bike to town, witnessed Marva's speech and the ensuing riot, and returned to his starship. Vel and Cinta surveilled Imperial HQ. Amid the riot, Vel ran to Cinta's apartment, while Cinta killed a spy. Then the two packed for a getaway. Dedra gave orders, searched for Cassian, and succumbed to the rioters. Cyril rescued Dedra from said rioters. Mon had a conveniently shoehorned argument with Perrin about gambling and a courtship scene with her daughter. So, I'll test my assertion about removal and change. Take out Luthen, only the epilogue changes. He wasn't the prime mover in the end. Eliminate Vel, no change. Cut Bix, Cassian avoids the riot. Remove Cassian, Bix stays in prison and the epilogue changes. He wasn't integral to the final episode. Clear Dedra, no change. She was Season 1's antagonist, but any Imperial officer could have filled in. Pull Cinta, one Imperial spy survives. Take out Cyril, Dedra dies. But Dedra's part was superfluous. So, only Season 2 changes? Eliminate Mon? An excuse for her withdrawals awaits in Season 2. Mon made no impact on Ferrix. Her arc essentially ended 2 episodes ago. Test concluded. If the primary characters weren't the drivers, who was? 3. A handful of secondary characters, including a dead one, superseded the primary characters in the finale. Marva's screen time as a hologram matched her screen time as a person and proved more consequential. The writers spoke through her to convey their theme for Season 1. We mistook Cassian for the show's titular character. First name Marva, last name Andor. Her speech was okay, but I doubt viewers had a deep connection with her. In my episode 11 review, I spoke about her off-screen death's lack of emotional weight. She disappeared for 7 episodes. Then she posthumously sparked a rebellion. Why? How? The writers never explained the locals' love for her, never showed or even referenced any rebellious deeds from her past. never provided reasons to care about her. Brazo was very important to episode 12. He became protector and provocateur. I liked him, but his outsized role surprised me. For 11 episodes, he was a supporting character. In the climax, he was the man. He launched the funeral procession in defiance of Imperial authority, played the holographic message as an incitement, and started the riot by assaulting an Imperial officer. Wouldn't Cassian have been a better choice than Brazo? Cassian was a respected local. He grieved his mother's death. He passed the point of caring about arrest or execution, and he was convinced to support and developed to execute such an insurrection throughout the season. He couldn't lead the procession, but he could have operated in the shadows. Zan, Wilmon, and Nurchi's sudden relevance surprised me too. The first died for a cause that he'd never championed. The second took a step beyond all primary characters with his explosive. The third appeared in only one scene before episode 12. I don't mind the common people rise up approach, but for it to work, we must care about the common people. I didn't know them. 4. The Imperials lost their minds for plot convenience. They ignored their advantages over the locals. Why didn't they summon scout walkers, TIE fighters, cruisers, or destroyers to restore order? Where were these familiar weapons? Security droids, probe droids, unavailable on a streaming budget perhaps. Supervisor Miro and Captain Tigo behaved incompetently after many scenes of skill and decisiveness. Why would Tigo order cartons of grenades to an exposed area? Why didn't he issue grenades to his soldiers? At least the stormtroopers hit their targets.
Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
A few words about the epilogue, Cassian and Luthen's exchange. Cassian was willing to die for the rebellion. I suppose his mother's speech, Bix's decrepitude, and chaos in Ferrix's streets converted him. I'm amazed his arrest wasn't enough. If he'd participated in the riot, he could have shown rather than voiced his commitment. But the scene was very good. Luthen's smirk in response to Cassian's earnestness, two great actors using body language more than words for conveyance. I'll cease my fidget spinner cracks because the post-credit scene was excellent. Short, clear, cinematic. It artfully contextualized Andor. In summation, finales can ruin productions. Refer to Lost and Game of Thrones for evidence. Though I appreciated 8 of its 12 episodes, I can't overlook Andor's subpar finish. It deserved an action-packed crescendo worthy of its development. By design, Star Wars follows a serial formula. Naboo, Geonosis, Mustafar, Yavin, Cloud City, and Endor. Epic film climaxes. Navarro and Moff Gideon's light cruiser. Epic season climaxes. Andor's writers inexplicably substituted secondary characters for primary characters in the climax, thus undoing most of their commendable preparatory work. In a word, fizzle. Yes, I'll watch Season 2. Thank you for finishing this video. Subscribe to Galactic Initiative for all things Star Wars.
Galactic Initiative is not authorized or endorsed by Lucasfilm Limited. The name Star Wars and all related materials are registered trademarks of Lucasfilm Limited, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, all rights reserved. Galactic Initiative is a registered trademark, and other product and company names are trademarks of their respective holders. Use does not imply affiliation or endorsement.